it kind of helped them advance. I mean, do you think this was a conspiracy?
Gotta go with Jacob Butter. Gotta go
No,
lefty.
we're talking about the players. That's tournament champion into the podcast.
There he is, right there.
Oh, he doesn't even know how to watch. Go to youtube.com and search Down Lane Podcast. What's up, bowlers? Welcome to Down Lane Podcast. We are streaming live from the lab at Town and Country Lanes on the Down Lane Bowling channel. I'm your host, Kyle Haines, and with me is the assistant to the host, Anthony Scaccia. There's nobody out there. And with us, as always, is the producer, making sure that you can hear us loud and clear, Austin Van Buren. Welcome to the show.
That mic up a little higher.
Hello? Can you hear me now? Check, check. Check 1, 2. Is that better?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, good. Well, thank God Austin is in the house because last week
We were a
was...
dumpster fire.
It was bad. It was very bad. We had no audio for 15 minutes until
Click of a button could have fixed it.
click of a button. That was it. Until we had him on the horn, and we got it fixed, taken care of, done. We got a lot to talk about tonight. As always, Anthony Scaccia has signed up for the Masters in Detroit, so we'll get to that.
On the wait list.
And then we are going to be talking about what makes a scratch bowler. Oh, he's playing with the sound effects. I'm sorry, I can't hear them. Oh, the applause for the sound.
I forgot we changed the settings, and that thing just went for the whole time, pretty much.
So we're going to talk about what makes a scratch bowler, what we think, what you think. So give us your comments about what might make a scratch bowler, because there is no system in bowling to tell us what that means. Well, before we get to all that, don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. If you can't watch on YouTube or Facebook, you can always download and listen via your favorite podcast service. And while you're doing that, give us a 5-star review or hit the like button, the heart button, whatever. Give us the love. How'd you guys do this week? What's up?
How was my sign language?
It was great.
Do I need to be this close, Austin? It feels awkwardly close.
No, you sound great.
Well, I had another $2.99 this week.
Can't knock them down.
No, I can only get to the EO.
Wait, so you want me to post the video I took, or
You video me?
I did take a video of your $2.99.
I didn't throw any good. Just laugh.
I know a couple minutes after it happened, he was sitting in the back, and he goes, I just gnawed on it.
I mean, I caught it pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, this one was with a different ball, though, so it was more fun. It was with one that smells like peppermint patties.
It looked good.
Smells good.
Hooks a ton.
Yeah, a lot of down lane.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Whip.
A lot of whip.
A lot of whip and nay-nay. What about the weekend? What about the weekend? How was the weekend?
Was this week Tournament Club?
Yep.
Horrible. Anything past 42 feet should be banned from bowling. Kyle picks these stupid, ridiculous patterns.
It sounds like I should have bowled.
Yeah, you definitely should have. Well, listen, I said to you and Nick, I said, okay, what's the pattern and the format going to be?
You tried to pick 50 feet at first.
No, I didn't try to do it.
Sign me up.
I was trying to get you to answer for once.
I was busy.
So then I said,
Sorry, someone was working in the afternoon. I don't know what you're doing.
Juice.
What was the series?
Yeah, with your $2.99.
I don't know.
It was pretty good.
I don't think so.
You looked like you were scoring pretty good over there.
I think I shot 998 for 4 with 198
pretty
games,
good for
201 game.
Pretty good for the large
So
majority
not
of
good.
most people.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, it wasn't a good set for me. It was an okay set. I got lucky. I scored. I mean, it wasn't like a good set.
Scoring is not hard to do these days, but
EO.
On the house shot.
anyway, so 45 feet. What was the pattern called again?
Dick Weber V2.
Dick Weber
I think it was V2.
That's right.
Another band pattern for any left-hander. It's ridiculous what you did to
We
us.
got 2 frames into Tournament Club, and I hear from, I think, 4 pairs down, Kyle! This is ridiculous! Whatever you said. What were you yelling at me?
I don't know. I was just kind of just like joking around, yelling like at you because you picked a stupid pattern and that I threw a gutter ball.
This is to make you better, Anthony.
There's no getting better on 45.
Listen, it was 47 feet at the Masters 2 years ago.
Yeah,
So maybe
they'll
go back to Detroit. It's going to be 50 feet this
But
year.
it was dry to the left.
It was dry to the left.
There was.
Not this weekend.
I'm pretty sure they were flat on the left this week because the pattern is shifted to the right.
Yeah.
So the left is a little bit flatter.
Left was very square.
Yeah, it was pretty square.
Yeah.
And I try to play my A game because it is about learning. Obviously I want to bowl well, but it is also about learning on 45 feet. I didn't hit anything with surface, so that was mistake number 7. Mistake number 1 was showing up. Mistake number 7 was not surfacing anything. Normally when I bowl in those patterns, I'm using 500 grit. But on this one, I was like, you know what? I'm going to work on my hand today, try to do a little this, a little that. And it turned to be an awful choice. I should have just hit everything with 500 grit, and I would have been better off.
Get the ball into a roll, if you will.
Yeah, and then I moved right, and I slowed down a little bit. I mean, I bowled okay. But it wasn't nearly as good as the right. The right looks so easy. I mean, you guys have it so easy all the time. All you gotta do is move left and hit it harder.
It wasn't easy.
Really?
It was playable.
Where were the left? Where were all the lefties, Kyle? Huh? None of us made the cut. So we went from winning to losing?
Yeah, no complaints about 2 lefties winning the last club event.
Because it was fair.
Now all of a sudden, you complain because the righties are winning.
Yeah, there's so many more of you. There's so many opportunities for the righties. Why can't we just have a lefty field every time we bowl?
Is there even enough lefties in the area to fill the squad?
No. But we're going to try that another time. It was I wasn't too upset. You can't get mad about that stuff because it's just a tournament club. It is about the learning factor. So even though I came in last place and probably the whole tournament.
Are you sure?
No, I didn't. But even though it didn't have a good day.
I was pretty close to that last one I bowled in.
It just wasn't good for me. So I'll just remember to use 500 grit.
Yeah, I shot 590 for 3.
And then so good.
And then I hit the
burn pair.
The burn pair. That was
fun. Bumper bowling. That was my best
it was
pair.
going to be, but I chose the wrong ball. I should have not switched balls to such a weak ball.
What did you switch to?
I shouldn't say weak ball. I switched to the AI.
Too much.
They would have needed to been more broken down for me to use that. And I probably should have just went to the ascent.
Onward and upward.
Yeah. But so I completely failed there.
Failure.
So I continued to run the tournament after that. So
did I.
Yeah.
Thank God for Nick Harris. Did all of our payouts. Thanks, Nick.
Yep.
First time he's done anything in 3 or 4 years.
I would like to bring up, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but all 3 of our teams are in the top 5 in the Thursday night league.
Oh, I got to bowl your girlfriend tonight. Bum, bum, bum.
Yep. And her and Chad.
Chad,
you better hope the right side don't hook.
But it doesn't matter. Listen, see this hand? This hand's going to make magic tonight.
Me and Anthony had a freaking claw fest on Thursday last week.
What an incredible match last week, I will say. Enjoyable. It was a pleasure to bowl, but it was also extremely competitive. And I think we had the lead going to every game into the 10th frame and lost 3.
Yeah, we took 3.
We actually had a chance to win total. We lost total by 9. But
on an absolute ripped 8-pin too.
Man, I bowled really.
It was a ripped 8-pin.
Oh, I threw that one good too. I knew I had to strike the very lane.
This week?
In what
position round?
Yeah, who do you have this week?
Battistoni Taylor.
I hope they absolutely destroy you.
That's aggressive.
I just want to win 2.
I want you to lose
2,
4.
So we still keep our. Well, no, because if we lose 4, we don't have a big enough lead going in next.
I know.
Not next week.
I'm aware.
It's Thanksgiving, but
I'm aware.
You have to bowl
our butts off.
You have to bowl Chris and a sub. I wonder who Chris is bringing in.
I am aware.
Is
of
it Matt
Fizone? Yeah.
Oh, good luck.
He brought
Don't
in a
worry.
ringer.
I oiled the left side really good today.
Lefty and lefty, they're going to take themselves out.
Wow.
2 lefties don't know how to handle each other.
What?
I've seen it happen to the 2 of you.
No, never. It doesn't bother me.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean? When has it bothered me?
I don't know. The last 2
it's
doubles tournaments
definitely
that you guys
not
have
going to
bowled in.
bother Chris.
First of all, Kyle.
Yeah.
First of all, one was Baker's. So I was on the left lane, he was on the right lane. And then the other Baker's event, I think we bowled on 44 feet. I threw a purple hammer and went plus 20.
Mm-hmm. All right.
The cut was plus 16.
Congratulations.
I bowled good that time. So don't tell me that the lefties screw
All I
each
have to
other
say
up.
is Chris Smith, look out tonight. and Matt Fazone, 2 Z's. You better look out too, because Nick and I are coming for you.
Are you guys gonna buy him beer?
So that
Get 'em
that's a
drunk?
good idea. Get them real hammered.
I'm
And
gonna
then
buy
That's
I'm
not
gonna
safe
buy 'em.
though, because they gotta drive home.
I'm sure Natasha will come here and drive him home.
I mean, it's close enough.
And
I'm gonna buy him some food, make him happy. You know, I need him to take some points tonight.
Don't worry, guys. We're on the back burner.
All right. So Anthony signed up for the Masters again. He was there 2 years ago.
What a wild ride it was this morning of emotions.
Tell us about it. So I read from Tom Doherty today about how it sold out in an hour or under an hour.
I think it's sold out in under an hour because I got up.
Hang on a second. Matt Ogle was taking bets, not real bets, but he was saying, what's the over under? Somebody said 2 hours. He said no shot.
No.
An hour. An hour is the over under.
An hour almost seems long, right?
Yeah.
Well,
and they all still took the under.
Yeah, I mean, I did get up this morning. I woke up, I peed excellence. And then after I got out and did that, I grabbed my wallet, I grabbed my iPad. I think this was, I don't know what time it was, relatively close to sign up time. This is around 10:30, 10:20. So we did everything.
What time did bidding open?
11.
11 a.m.
So
Eastern Standard Time?
EDT.
Okay. Eastern Daylight Time.
Yeah, whatever that means. Thought it was all the same. Anyways,
It is.
so we get up and I'm just kind of hanging out, and I'm like, you know what? I know how things are going to go here. I've got 40 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Let me navigate this page because I know that last year I went out in like an hour and a half. So I'm like, well, if something happens, I can email somebody. Let me see how to navigate. So I signed in under Kyle Haines, and as my iPad does, it's not. Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
So am I signed up to go to the Masters?
No. No. Because I had to put my USBC number in, but also I signed myself in. So I went through the USBC Open Championship page because that's like, obviously it has it's the same queue or same whatever. So I did that. I made sure I went through that, double checked it all. I'm like, all right, I remember how to do this. Let me get my wallet, my card ready because I know it goes quick. And 11 opens up and I'm like, all right, knowing the USBC, they have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, let me look at 1101.
It's going to be like Netflix during the Tyson fight.
Yeah, it just goes down, right? So 1101 hits, and I take a look at it, and it is live. So I refresh the page, and I go back through. Then I click it. I register. I had to look for a little bit because it's kind of tricky. You have to click the date. You can't just hit register for the event. You have to click the date of practice.
Wait, is it the portal? Do they use the same portal as like
OCs.
Open Championships?
Yes.
That's silly.
So you have to pick the 23rd.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at, okay, I clicked that.
Because like all the other dates are grayed out.
Yes.
And it's only,
Yeah.
got
So
it.
I had to
Okay.
make sure I clicked that one.
Mhm.
Go figure.
Yep.
Click that one. Go through. I tried to get my name in the first time. Had no idea how to friggin' do it. So then I refreshed it.
ANT.
No, you got to put your
H.
no, but it wouldn't let me
Oh.
cash out. It wouldn't let me card it. I had to put my USBC number, and I couldn't. I was hitting the stuff, the drop down, whatever, to try to get it to work, and it wouldn't work. I was like, oh, are you kidding me? Of course. So then I go back in and I do it again, and it tells me that there's only 160 spots left at 11:10, and I'm pretty sure there's
Out of
380.
400.
Yeah, 400 basically. So I'm like, holy crap! I'm like, I gotta go do this. I gotta actually like get on my horse here. So I gotta make sure it works, or else I gotta email somebody. So I ended up doing it. I don't know what I clicked. I just started clicking stuff. Finally went in, and then it asked for my USBC number. Didn't have that. So then I had to go.
You don't know your USBC number?
No.
Awesome.
6291-4884.
Thank you.
Do you know your social security numbers?
Not saying that on the internet.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
Of
Like,
course.
Yes, I do. Yes.
I don't know my USBC number. I digress. So,
Shameful.
anyways, I had
I
to
know
go
it by heart.
6243 maybe, and then there's another 4 letters after that. So, anyways,
Letters?
numbers, and then so I ended up going through it again and doing it, and then I finally figured it out. I had to go to Google Sheets for the OCs. Thank God for that.
Oh, there you go.
Went through, found it there. Made sure I signed myself up because there's 50 people's names
You don't
on
even keep the card in your wallet?
it. No.
Oh,
So-
me neither. I
I
just
have
know my
like
number.
2 years of cards in there.
So we ended up going through, bang, put the credit card in, bang, get it all done, get the email, you're signed up. I should probably make sure that was the actual email.
Make
That I
sure it
got
was a
today,
confirmation and
'cause I
not
actually
a, hey,
didn't-
you're on the wait list.
Didn't check that. No, can't be on the wait list because I did. I did.
See, Craig Smith, he
Here
knows his.
Great, Craig. Let me know your social security number and your credit card numbers, by the way. So I am in because it says my payment was received. So I'm safe. I just checked that now 9 hours later. But what I did was I checked to see how fast it was going to be done because I remember in past years, we literally were on the show. I think it opened up at like 7.
Yeah, it was later for sure.
Yeah, it was like Thursday at like 7 or something. Yeah. So we got into the bar and we're like, man, we're already waitlisted. And we both got on.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm like, man, it was like 2 or 3 hours later and I heard it closed out early. So then last year I heard it closed out in like an hour. So I went back and checked in. Just to see.
Forgot you were here.
Smart man, go juice.
I checked to see how many spots I had left at like 11:15 and there was like 40.
Right.
So I'm assuming that all 40 got picked up or it was 90. It was something very low.
How it could be over 30 minutes to be sold out would be beyond me.
So my question is like, is that everyone? There's nobody that just has a prerequisite into the tournament?
No.
That's wild.
Which I
understand why it's not, but it's wild that it sells out that fast.
We're going to talk about that in a future conversation, Austin. So hold your thoughts. Yes, Boulevard Bowl has the Baker tournament Sunday at 1 p.m. We are not able to make it.
I will be there.
I will not be there, but I do have a team representing us. J.R. Raymond said 20 minutes. Yeah, it was about 20 minutes because I looked at 11:15 and there was really nothing left.
It's crazy. It's ridiculous.
So, anyways, and then, I thought some guys were going to go because we've talked about it. Nobody's going. So I am
just Anthony.
He's all alone.
Which is fine. I'm good with being alone. But I did talk to Brett Groff. Brett Groff is going.
Oh, really?
Yep. So, we're gonna see what happens in the future. Might just hang out. I don't know. Maybe we'll see what happens here. It's in Detroit. Same place I was last year. So
City.
9.5 hours. Figured I have a different plan this year. We're gonna bring out some blank balls as well.
We'll send.
Yeah, like my dad told us to, like that 2 years ago. Yeah, he's like, you guys gonna bring any blank balls in case the pattern's weird and you guys can drill some? And we're like, who does that? And he's like,
everybody.
Seriously? Like, that's why the pros have the truck.
We should send my father out with you.
Yeah. Actually, your dad wants to go out. That'd be cool. I mean, he ain't gonna be doing too much.
Speaking of which, time out. How's the old man doing?
He's back at work.
Insane.
Typical.
So knee surgery last Thursday.
My dad, I think, did very similar.
We were at the club. We were bowling club Sunday. Walks in with a walker.
Yeah.
Like
driving, by the way.
Oh, he did not
Phillips
drive.
drove him.
No, Zach drove him.
Oh, then Zach left?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Zach bowled for some reason.
This guy cannot stay out of the bowling alley. It's awesome.
No, he just loves it.
The best was when I walked into the house Monday after work and he was walking around and he said, I don't need this walker.
I remember when my father did that, and then the next day he said, I shouldn't have done that.
He said physical therapy got him good on Monday.
Yeah. I will say, if nobody knows what we're talking about, Austin's father, Art, had knee replacement. So if we didn't tell people
I just say that?
Yes. That's also why I wasn't here last week. Oh, I was stretched thin on sleep.
That's right.
Okay. Well, yeah, so the Masters was kind of not a debacle for me, but it was like, ooh, there's only 140 spots when I jumped in here on the second time. I'm like, wait, hold on. How are there 240 already gone or whatever it is? Like, that's insane. It's
absolutely ridiculous. So what's the right thing to do then? I think we might have talked about this a couple of years ago when we signed up and it was sold out super fast. My thought is, and a couple of guys were talking about on the internets, like the Masters and the US Open are both wide open to anybody. The US Open has a PTQ.
The US Open is not wide open to anybody.
It is wide open to anybody. You can sign up for the PTQ.
That's not wide open.
Why is it not wide open? Anybody can sign up.
You're not in the actual tournament until you make the PTQ. It is not wide open to everybody.
My point is, anybody can go bowl.
No, they can't.
Okay.
Anybody can go bowl the PTQ.
Yes. It's still part of the tournament. Or pre-tournament.
Zach, the 23rd of March to the 30th. It's a full week.
So anyway, also to my point, a side point I should say is the US Open is not open.
But that's what I'm saying. But even though you're saying everybody can bowl, you can bowl a PTQ, but the Masters is the only true open tournament for the professionals, we'll call it.
Just to get right into it. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Like, that is the only one where you can pay and you're competing against the pros. Like, you got to win the PTQ to even get a chance at the real event.
PTQ, yeah.
That's what I mean.
There's also pre-tournament there's also qualifiers regionally that you can get into the U.S. Open from.
Yeah, it'd be cool if we knew about those.
We do know about them. I brought them up. You have to.
Oh, you wanted me to pay to do one here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
You have to get your center
Registered.
like
Lane
registered, and they have
topography or
to
whatever.
like look at your not history, but your lanes and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Anyway, that aside, the Masters is just wide open, which I still don't understand why they call it the Masters. And it's wide open to everybody. But what are the solutions to not lock out maybe some of the best bowlers or whatever? Like my thought is the average requirement is still only 200, which I think is insane on these conditions these days. Almost anybody can average 200.
Actually, it's only like 2% of the bowling population.
I cannot believe that because that's like half the house out here averages 200.
Probably not.
Jeff, can you fact check us on that, please?
Actually, I'd like to know the real stat, but I
don't
don't
know
think
the
it's
real
as high as
stat,
you
but-
think.
I can try to find
It's
it.
not.
Yeah, see if
half,
it's there.
but it's definitely got to be more than 2%.
I
Has
mean,
to be
that's
more than
somebody always
2%.
said 2% or something to me, so I would say probably 10%.
So, of a million, still 10,000 bowlers. Anyway, so my thought is, it's been 200 for how many years now? PBA and now the Masters to qualify to be able to get in. Why not raise it to 215 or 220 or something to be somewhat related to the conditions that we're bowling on? If you average 200 back in the 80s or 70s, maybe even the 90s,
What if some guys bowling a harder house?
I understand that. That's a whole nother
Problem?
that all the lanes are so different.
Now you
drastic.
can't get, because if you look at it, we're running the Swiss Trios in like 2 or 3 weeks, and I have to take a look at the teams. Basically, they come and text me or whatever, the people who they're bowling with, and then I go through and check. Well, there's George Gorman III, great player, but I think he's like 205.
That is impossible that he averages 205.
I don't remember exactly what it is, but he's like under 220.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that guy is under 220?
It would be insane to me that he'd be under 220.
Exactly. I'm going to look it up while we're sitting here.
GG3 better be in the chat, and he better tell us his average.
He's not high.
Oh.
Who?
Anyway, so
I'll look it up right now.
my point is, it used to be 200 back when it was hard, and now it's 200 when it's a lot.
Do you really think it's
easier.
easy?
Oh my God! Don't even get me started. This is, that it's easier
How do you know? You don't think the transition makes it harder in today's day and age?
on a house shot.
What are you averaging?
I don't know. Depends on the league. 230 in one league, 220 in another league.
What other league do you bowl in, Kyle?
The Tuesday night league.
That's subbing. That doesn't count.
Okay. Still have.
Oh, George is 220.
Oh, would you look at that?
But still, he's 220.
So, point being, should the qualifiers be different? Tom Doherty was saying, should we just up the ante? Instead of 300, be 500 or something. Or
For
do you
what?
guys not care? Should it just be wide open and sell out in half an hour?
I don't believe in that. Do you want to know my actual...
Believe
how
in
does a
what?
lefty know transition to Joe DeVellis Jr.? The good answer to that is I don't move my feet. I look at 3 everywhere I go. That's God's honest truth. So transition, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who she is. Anyways, back
What's
to
up, Max? How you doing tonight?
my point here. I think that it shouldn't be based on average. I think it should be based on maybe I guess it would be average, but there should be a tier level system. We've talked about this before, where there'd be like, let's just call it levels 1, 2, 3, or bronze, silver, gold. Yes, Connor, I look at 3 and hit 9. We all know this. Like, it's just truth. All right, people.
Just watch any of the reviews
Listen.
on the Down Lane Bowling channel.
Hence why I don't tell you where I'm looking
I'm
anymore.
standing somewhere around
15 and a half
20 to 25, and I'm looking at 3.
I say 22 and a half and just some random stuff. I'm going to throw it left. Anyways, this is my thought. First of all, we've talked about my program on the show before, where
tier levels.
the tier levels, where there are tournaments that are tiered off into bronze, silver, gold level. Obviously, gold level is your hardest patterns, and you have to be a certain skill level, or you don't have to be a certain skill level. Anybody can bowl the gold levels, but based on your performances in the tournaments, you can move up and down. So silver level would be obviously a little bit easier, and the bronze level would be like a house shot or something similar to that. And then you would go into divisions or levels based off of your average. And then as you bowl these events, you could move up or down depending on your performance. And then as that happens, say I'm in the silver and I'm progressing and people see it and I move to my gold level. Well, now that I'm a gold level, PBA players, first of all, not just the members, but the tour guys who are the exempt players, they should be in their platinum level. So they should have open priority. Their priority would be, let's just say on the 20th, all of the PBA players that are exempt can go at it.
Why wouldn't the exempt players just have a spot?
Listen, that's another thing we could get into, but I'm just saying in this case in point, for everything to be equal, is the platinum level players, which would be them, would be able to get their first dibs. That way they have a day in case something happens,
Sure.
With their life or whatever. They have a full day to get in, or they can say, hey buddy, can you get me in? That way they don't have to worry about it too much. That way it's just them that day, because now you're going to take 65 slots right out of 400, let's say. So now there's 340 or 335 left. The 335, which is definitely enough for the average Joe. But now what needs to happen is now the gold level people need to be able to get into or have priority. So then the platinum and the gold would be able to sign up at the same time. If you're an exempt player and you just didn't sign up, you could sign up anytime during this process. But then the gold level players or the higher average players, in a sense, would have priority, just because then they would have their own day to do it, which then if that sells out, that's great, because now your field is technically the best that it can be, because you're having a platinum and a gold leveled field there. But then if you don't fill up enough, then it goes into the silver, and then that's when it becomes first come first serve, basically, or it would be silver and bronze, because you're not really looking to fill the field with silver and bronze. You're really looking to fill the field with your gold and platinum players. So that would be the best way to do it, where you would tier it off. Now you could do it with averages, but if they did run tournaments and had the USBC pattern bank and all that other stuff where you get Bowl TV and this and that, and you could research patterns and learn how to play the patterns, and we had certain patterns and different levels, you could easily probably get a better idea of who should be in that field and who shouldn't. And then people can actually progress as well, and they can work their way to the Masters to get that priority entry.
Right.
That is how it really should be done.
Agreed.
That's not
I
fun.
didn't find any stats, by the way.
Dang it.
It seems that USBC has not ever posted anything regarding percentiles in average.
Of averages? I'm going to ask them.
You should. You should email them.
Well, they should have a stat on that. We should be able to know.
You're telling me you're going to do a bit of research
But I
for
will
this
say,
show?
Maybe. I never said
will
I'd actually do it.
just on the other
Literally
side of the
just did.
spectrum of opportunities, another way you could do it is split it up by regions and make each region have a specific time zone for signups.
Very bad idea.
Oh, I agree. It wouldn't solve the problems.
No, it would make a problem.
Well, yeah, because if you
Then
have
the East region would go first, and
Yeah,
it could fill with only East players.
right.
It would be.
Well, no, you'd be limited to a certain amount of spots for each region.
Oh, that would suck too.
That wouldn't be good.
Yeah. The way
I don't believe in
that
that.
it's currently running is absolutely horrible.
Listen,
And-
it's serving its purpose if people are signing up, but it also doesn't technically guarantee your best field.
Absolutely not. I mean, I think
Especially
There's
when
very
all they
few
complain about is
times-
how bad the field is.
who complains about how bad the field is?
How bad the field is. The pros don't like the amateurs.
The guys
Well, listen,
that are very good.
Yes, the pros just don't like bowling with amateurs. That's just how they are. They don't like
They don't like going to a different lane and all of a sudden the pattern's so different they don't know what to
right.
do.
They don't
Kind of knows all
like
about that.
not having their hook spot.
See, in my opinion,
whatever.
deal with it. We're all bowling on the same
I
lanes.
100% agree. I'm just saying, I know for a fact that they say, when you're bowling with a bunch of sloppy Joes, they don't like that the lanes don't transition the way they want them to, which is weird because
Well, go bowl the PBA then.
I don't hear other sports complaining about wind one day or rain or
Yeah, that's
whatever.
completely irrelevant, though.
I'm
I
just
will
saying,
say,
like,
golf, you do hear complaints in golf with pairings.
they're all random though. Well, to start,
Yes. But trust me, there's complaints.
I'm sure that. Well, listen, you don't always want to cross with the same people all the time either, right? When you're
middle.
bowling,
I wouldn't mind crossing with the
if
same
you-
people
if it's
every
somebody
time.
that you like, sure.
Well, golf's a little different because
it's
you can't,
somebody
really, you can't really look at him and be like, I'm gonna play the same part of the golf course as him.
Right. That I guess. Yeah. There's not a lot of
But I don't feel that golf is the
Defense.
same though, because
Or
golf
offense.
It's not the same.
doesn't matter where you hit it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean it matters, but it doesn't because you're not literally destroying somebody's line when you hit it
Yeah.
in the air. Like there's no
Understood.
hole in the air that makes it go farther or have more resistance.
Create an ozone effect.
Yes, it doesn't do that. So I think I understand what you're saying, but it's I don't know. I don't know. What do I really know? All I know is that I'm going to take my urethane bowling balls. I'm going to hit them with a 180 grit out there, and I'm going to try and curb it.
Well, that's true. What if it's a low volume pattern?
It won't be.
Still gonna curve it.
It won't be.
But yeah, I agree. I think either you have to raise the averages to reduce how many people are able to sign up, or the tiered system would have to take years to develop. So it's not an immediate fix.
Not really. It's still basically
It would still take years to
it's still-
develop. Like
basically the same thing. It's just averages. Yes, the Masters mean you should want the best, which is why it should be a tiered system from the pros, and then the pros should get their spots, and then, like we said, highest level gets their spots, and then the gold level will get their spots, and then if there's anything left, bronze and silver can go. But you're trying to fill your field with the platinum and the
elite.
gold players
The
because
elite
that's
players.
what you really want. You shouldn't just open it up from 200 to 245 or 250, whatever it is,
Right.
because I mean, in reality, is that really what? Are they really that close? I mean,
and look, a 200 bowler on a sports shot is a 175 bowler.
obviously it depends on where they're bowling to. But yes, I mean, we could argue that
It's true.
they're not as good as a 240 typically.
Right.
90% of the time.
They're not making spares.
90% of the time, they're not as good as 240. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, it should be a
Right.
different system. The
Unless
free
they're
for all is
bowling
crazy.
at a place that is actually difficult.
So do you think that I shouldn't be there?
No, I don't.
Touche. I expected that from you though.
No, obviously.
I think I'm good enough to compete.
You
I cashed
obviously
last time.
cashed last time.
I did cash last
So
time.
you are able to compete with all those guys. You have competed. I think you won more money in this room than
I got lucky.
anybody in a bowling alley. So
I got lucky one
yeah,
time.
you can hang
I'm
with
just
those
trying
guys
to catch
for
Kyle.
sure.
So I think
Me,
that
would
you
I win?
I don't know.
I don't just.
only won a
I
couple of
agree. I
things.
think that you guys could also be out there as well. I think you're much better.
I
Kyle.
could get lucky one day.
There's no Deke. You can't do 400 PBA players. That's not how it would work. You would only take the exempt field
Right,
because
and
the
then everybody
PBA
else can
anybody can buy a
chime in.
PBA membership at 200.
Yep.
So it's completely irrelevant if you're a PBA player or not at that point.
Also, I know a couple PBA players that probably should not be in those tournaments. No offense to them.
It's true.
Me?
Like
No,
Anthony said,
definitely not you, buddy.
it doesn't take anything to
But
be a PBA member
anyone can throw $300 out
and
of their
have
wallet.
200 average.
That's what I'm
Exactly
saying.
right.
The PBA, it would just be the exempt field, and then the gold would be basically the top X% of averages.
All right. Well, speaking of a type of bowler that you might be, let's move on to our next subject. But before we do, don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. Email us, downlanepod@gmail.com. What else would I usually say?
Visit our Etsy shop.
Etsy shop.
I'm going to make a shirt.
The link's in the description. And if you can't watch on YouTube or Facebook, you can always download and listen via your favorite podcast service. All right. So good luck to you in the Masters.
We got a long way to go.
A few more months.
Yeah, it's okay. I got a long way to go. Got to figure out what I'm going to do.
Matt
if you make the finals, I will drive out there.
I would recommend
I'll
flying.
make it all the way there.
I would recommend flying.
probably be a lot
That'd be too
cheaper
easy.
and easier to get a drive out and then to take a flight.
You think so?
Oh, definitely.
yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Way cheaper.
You guys going to video me losing my first two matches and then have to drive 9 hours home?
Listen, it's the respect of driving out there in the middle of the night to come watch our buddy bowl in the last day.
We
Well,
couldn't even make the trip to an hour away while he's bowling for $20,000 last year.
It's not as important.
All right.
To be fair, I woke up that Sunday morning and I forgot that was happening.
But here's the other
And
thing.
then I
though.
saw that Anthony said he
Here's the other thing, though, is that at least I'm guaranteed like 2 matches in the Masters. Like if you drove an hour and a half with me and I lost the first round I got there at the Mega Bucks, I would have been there for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, that one and done there is not
It's
fun.
like an hour and a half drive, 30
Imagine-
minutes, walking out. like
imagine
happened the
that
year before.
depressing lunch we could have though.
True.
I drove home in silence that day,
That's right. I've been there. Hard.
but I won that day. But I still drove home in silence.
All right. So, the topic at hand. What makes you, or what defines a scratch bowler?
Scratch.
You know, I was talking to Joey.
I have an answer.
All right, hang on.
I'll wait.
I was talking to Joey D
Hold on to that.
out in the lounge
The bar.
a couple of minutes ago before the show, and I was saying, you know, I'm going to say the word golf
Here we go.
has a system. All right. And no matter where you go, you know where you stand. All right. So every course has a slope rating, or at least the ones that are rated have a slope rating. So you know your handicap equals your handicap at X course equals your handicap at Y course, right?
Yeah, I
Golfer
stand in
Austin.
the woods.
What's that?
You said you know where we stand. I stand in the woods.
But the slope rating determines your handicap, right?
Correct.
Right. So there's a system in place with golf that tells you, okay, I'm a X handicap or I'm a scratch golfer. We don't have that in bowling. We just say I bowl in scratch tournaments. I'm a scratch bowler. But, you know, I bowl in a scratch league. I don't necessarily have handicap.
Oh.
Mark James, we know you're a handicap bowler. Ooh, there's a casino nearby in Megabucks.
Yeah, I don't want to blow 20,000 there.
Just black or red, man. Just pick.
I could.
2 bets, 10K each.
We can double this real fast.
So how do you know? Like, what is the determining factor when it comes to saying I'm a scratch bowler? Do you guys consider yourselves scratch bowlers?
I consider myself someone who doesn't like bowling with handicap.
My brain is registering.
All right. Is there a definition for scratch bowler?
Well,
And is
to
it
me,
different?
to
Is it-
my definition for scratch bowler would be the league you are bowling in has designated what scratches, and you're either there or you're not there.
Kyle's currently looking it up on.
Yeah, but is it different than golf, where like scratch means you bowl at or you golf at 0, right?
Well, bowling
Well,
your
golf, your handicap rating is ever changing. So especially if like a
Well,
course
sure.
is harder, a course is easier. Like so, I mean, I'm assuming someone that's literally a 0, which would be a scratch golfer. On they go to Pebble Beach, they may not be scratch anymore because that course is just dumb hard.
Oh, no, unless you're me. I mean,
But then again, I'm not very good with handicaps in golf. That would be like a Rich Manzer question. He'd be able to answer that. But I do know that USPGA has quite the app that does all of that for you.
That's nice. Imagine if we had one of those.
Yeah,
bowling.
currently I can't sign into Bowl TV, so or not Bowl TV, Bowl.com.
well, I don't know what scratch bowling is. What's scratch bowling to you, Kyle?
No handicap.
No handicap.
For sure, 100%. Like you don't bowl with handicap.
Technically, I am a scratch golfer.
Explain.
I'm gonna say red 13. Mark, last time I went there, somebody gave me $10, said put on red 13. I'm not even sure if it's red, but they said red 13. I put on red 13 and I hit for 360. So put on 13.
How'd that work for you?
Yeah,
And then I gave it back to the guy because he wanted the money.
Odds
That was
are
kinda
red,
weird.
evens are blacks, I believe.
So I will say I am a scratch golfer
Go
because I don't
on. You
use
scratch up the course.
No, I don't use handicap. I don't get
You don't
strokes when I play
use it.
people.
That's true.
Like when I
but
play people.
that's not exactly how that works.
Well,
Because
really?
you can't hit 0 or not 0, par.
That doesn't make a difference. I'm not giving anybody strokes and they're not giving me strokes, so I'm playing scratch. So I am a scratch golfer by definition.
I think in golf they would call that straight up.
I'm a straight up golfer.
Well, it would just be a straight up match.
Well, I'm a straight up golfer. I'm a straight up match or scratch. It doesn't make a difference. If scratch is going to be no handicap, like we're stating
Yeah.
this here, then it means that if you're not giving people handicap,
But your
people
definition is incorrect. Because
really?
Yeah.
Is that how you feel?
No, that's accurate.
No, it's not. Show me a
Because-
definition.
Because when you have a handicap in golf, it means
I don't
that
have one
you play
to win the game.
a certain amount of strokes over par.
Yeah, I understand there's an actual system.
Okay, well, that's what I'm talking about. I
I'm
don't care what's
telling-
going through your head.
And I'm telling you that if you decide to play without strokes, you are a scratch golfer. It doesn't matter how good or bad you are.
No, your handicap's still 25.
Not for me.
Yeah,
I don't have one.
It's just
Irrelevant.
so wrong.
Well, I don't play for money, and I also don't play with a handicap. But my handicap
so you're a
is
scratch golfer?
23.4.
Yeah. Well, he just told you what his handicap was.
No, he said he doesn't play with the handicap. So if he believes he's not a handicapper, he's not handicapped.
Okay, let's get back to the reality.
Okay.
Which reality?
Thank you, Zach. Zach Phillips, a scratch golfer, someone who shoots par or better, no matter the course.
What's
There you
par
go.
in bowling?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
200.
It's defined by the league.
No, it's 200. When you go to a tournament and you shoot 220, you're plus 20. When you shoot 190, you're minus 10.
Do you think that's because it's par, or somebody just determined some sort of number to base the plus and minus off of, which is 200, which is easy to think of?
I don't believe you're correct.
I'm asking.
And I didn't really listen, so I said I don't believe you're correct.
So pretty much
I'm trying to think, Kyle.
the number of two. I mean, I'd have to look it up, but I'd assume that the proprietary 200 for even minus was just randomly selected.
Like, I could agree. Like, if you are above 200 on a sport condition, then I would consider scratch. Yes.
But the real
be-
question is, if unanimously you could say 200 is par, so to say, in bowling, why are we giving handicaps in leagues for people averaging 225?
And that's why I'm saying on a sport shot, I think 200 would be par. But on a house shot,
Deke says it's the middle. The middle is 150, I believe.
I was going to say that, actually. That was my next...
I'm super confused by what that is. Oh, the middle of
the
middle
league?
of scoring pace.
No, the middle of scoring
middle of
pace.
scoring
Pace.
pace.
Okay.
No, the middle of the score. So you can either get 300 or 0. So the
Got
middle of 300 is 150. So
I got it.
technically, it would be 150 would be halfway through, which means that wouldn't make sense. 200, I guess, is just a better number, I guess. I don't know. This is an
Exactly.
interesting conversation because there really is no right or wrong answer. But if you play without handicap, you are scratch in bowling.
And I believe that is literally all it means.
Well, there is no
In
definition.
bowling.
That's why I'm asking.
So you're trying to create a definition.
I'm just curious. Matt Fazzone, Matty 2Z's asked the question. I'm bringing it up on the show, and I don't even know. I do consider myself a scratch bowler. I compete in scratch tournaments. I bowl in a scratch league. I don't even know what my handicap is on Tuesdays because the handicap is some ridiculous number, like
It's
90% of 250 or something.
240. Second of all,
so I get like
the
5 pins.
Deke has a good idea here. The 10 pins for 10 frames is probably why it's 200. If you fill all your frames and you get basically all 10 pins down every time, you are going to score close to 200 or over. You should, more than likely. Right?
Tyler says, isn't it crazy how someone can go out and get hot and bowl a 220, but there's never someone that goes out and shoots a lucky 75 in golf?
Skill gap is very large in comparison.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well, the-
I don't
It's
know.
also the bumpers in house bowling.
Are you talking miniature golf or real golf? Because I can sure get under 75 in miniature golf.
Well, now, hold on. Is he saying just hit 75? Because I hit that with like 6 or 7 holes to go.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Tyler says real golf. He's on it. I agree. That is very true. But you can have a good day, though. I mean, obviously,
Yeah, you can have a good day,
Yeah,
but
but
you
a good-
can't beat your best score
good-
by 10 or 20.
Yeah, a good.
my best score is not 85. My best score is like 100.
I know. I'm just saying, in Tyler's description or example, you can a 180 bowler can shoot 300 in league.
I seen it.
Exactly, and a 100 or whatever that handicap is, a
100
100,
would be like 25.
a 25 handicap doesn't go out and shoot par. It does not happen. It can't happen.
Unless
Never
you're,
said never.
unless you're in a scramble and no one's looking.
Yeah, right.
Well, I could always shoot par every round.
If you change par,
No, if I just cheat.
right. Again, you're making scenarios up that are not helpful to this
Well,
conversation.
Excuse me for bringing in the outside of the box look here. Yes, I
At least we
agree.
know how you're going to make it through the Masters.
Dude, I'm gonna freaking if I shoot 180, I'm putting a 2 in front of that.
They can go back and figure it out.
That's right.
I think that the scratch bowler would be, in reality, it would be a mark for every 10 frames. I think that would, you average, you would average over 200 basically, because a mark, if you get 10 pins in every frame, you're going to be right around 200, if not over. So it makes sense that if you mark everything, it would be 200.
Devin says, I lose if I bowl handicap tournaments. What's that mean? Oh, because she's a scratch bowler. I get that.
No.
I get it. That went over my head.
Almost went right over the head.
I got it.
I think that's why 200 is the correct number, because that is basically all your spares. You close every frame out. All 10 pins have been knocked down. Majority of 90% of the frames, I'd assume.
I could agree with that, but if that's the case, why are leagues allowing handicap over 200?
Because the scoring pace has obviously changed over the years, so then they change it to adjust it for that average change that has happened over the years. And before Kyle gets on a rant about how averages have changed and how easier, blah, 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 and how handicap and this and that, that should be harder.
I will say, however, the difference between 230 and 200 is 2 mistakes. One, if you make a really bad mistake.
Sure.
Yeah, in one game, though, not on average.
No, I know. I'm just saying, because he was talking about the scoring pace and whatnot, and the people who average over 200 generally are very close to that every time. But the people who are under 200, they fluctuate up and down like crazy.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah, the higher you average, the more consistent you are. Correct. Is what you're saying.
So
yes.
why do we need to give those guys that are already above scratch those extra pins to help them if they are already there?
Because what's the possibility of having a higher average than what's actually allowed? For handicap. If you're 230 but you average 245.
Well, then you get 0.
Yeah, but then the non-handicap bowler actually has an advantage. Did you know that?
Isn't that the point of being good at something?
Yeah, I agree. But I'm just saying that they would have the advantage.
Why do we have to help someone that's 10 pins off of us?
Well, then it also, in a league style, it would become, I don't like to say this, but it becomes unfair. Because now the average is based off of 230. So if Joe Schmo averages 180 and he's got to bowl me and I'm 242, and if he hits his average, he's still going to be 10 to 15 pins behind me regardless.
He needs a double and he's going to beat you. Is what you're saying. It's unfair to you.
No.
Or it's
unfair to the lower average player. Because if it's going to be 90% or whatever it is of 230 and I average 242, if you're 180, you're only getting 10, 20, 50. You're going to be getting 90% of 50. This is just for our league on Tuesday.
Sure.
You're getting 46 pins a game. If you hit your average and you shoot 180 and you're getting 46 pins a game, you're only 226. I'm technically getting 14.
I see.
I'd actually be getting 14 or 15 pins, and it wouldn't technically be fair. So then they actually have to shoot 15 pins over their average to beat me. So that's why the handicap has always changed, because this happened Tuesday night when I averaged 245 and it was off of 230.
I actually think that is fair.
It could be fair in your eyes because the better bowler should get now. But if you're actually looking to make it fair across the board like golf does, you would have to basically handicap it off the top average.
I was going to say, why do you think nobody handicaps head to head? Okay, you average 230, I average 180. I get.
What are you talking about?
Because that's too much work. He's saying every night, every matchup, you change the average.
Do it.
So, say I'm bowling Kyle. I average 195 and Kyle averages 230. So now mine is going to be based off of Kyle's 230, and I get a certain percentage of that. Next week I bowl someone that averages,
do that all the time.
Averages 220.
The difference between the teams, that happens all the time.
Difference between the teams, yes. I'm saying when you have a head-to-head league, though, why isn't it?
I did that.
You did individual handicap head-to-head.
Yeah, and it was basically off the difference of the team. Yes, I did that in a spring league. So there was no average cap. It was just 90% of the difference between the players.
Each individual player head-to-head is what I'm saying.
It might have been based off of the team. Oh, no, but they also get handicapped, though.
Yeah, I'm saying, so on Tuesday nights you play head-to-head. I'm saying...
It should be the difference between the players.
Yes. and the team.
I did do it, but then the computer wouldn't do it.
Right.
But I did do it, and then I was like, I can't do
seemed
that.
to me more fair in my head. Anyway.
The difference between it. So if I'm 15 pins or 20 pins ahead, you get 18.
Deke, I wholeheartedly agree with you.
Yes, trust me, Deke, I agree with that because every Monday we play for dinner, and I average 231, and everybody else is 190 and 180, or 190, 190. Oh, one other guy's, Zach Phillips, is 230. And we constantly have to buy dinner because we don't have as much room to go up as they can go up much higher.
Right.
Like if we have to shoot 250, it's way harder for us to shoot 250 than it is for them to hit 210 because they just got to catch a lucky double in there. We actually have to throw like 7 in a row. So yes, it is much easier for the guy 180 shoot 210.
Catch a double or a triple.
And Devin was bringing up the probably most existential scratch bowlers argument on why they do not bowl a lot of tournaments.
Devin says it wouldn't be fair to the higher average player. That's why she doesn't bowl handicap tournaments. She gets very little pins compared to the lower average bowlers, and they bowl very well and beat us. Yes, I mean, that is typically, I can see that happening quite often.
I agree. Joey D, JD3 should be re-rated.
He should. He's going
He's
up.
going to come in and he's going to destroy them tonight. But it's scratch, so it doesn't matter.
He shot 870 on Monday.
Wow.
With 190.
And I only got him by 20 pins.
Yeah. We're going to have to re-rate. He's buying dinner next week. I just haven't told him yet. There's no way he's not buying dinner
what's
next
his
week.
name? Brad.
Angela?
No, the other Brad.
Miller.
Right on his YouTube says it's cheating.
What is?
It's so easy, it's cheating.
What?
Two-handed.
Did he actually say that?
I just read the thumbnail.
Maybe because he could actually get...
Well, he probably gets tilt.
I will say scratch bowler. Fills all the frames. That's my final discussion.
Okay.
I am not scratched then.
Well, it would be average. So if you fill the frame, it'd be about 195, 200 plus would be a scratch bowler.
Oh, you mean, okay. I thought you meant literally like
Scoring
no matter
pace
what
wise,
you're filling the
yeah,
frame.
no.
On the average
Nobody
condition,
fills the frame every single
on the
time.
average condition, I will say that.
All right, so a few minutes
Hold on a
left.
second. Zach, I will say the Monday Night NFL might be the better one that I've ever bowled in handicap-wise.
It's the same as Tuesday, by the way, Zach. And you bowl Tuesday, don't have a problem with that.
We have a few minutes left, and we got a swing submission last night for what we
saw
see
her.
with DLP.
I remembered my joke. I'll tell you guys after the podcast.
Okay.
But I fell asleep before I texted it to you guys last night.
Yeah, I said let us have it, and you're like,
Yeah,
crickets.
it's just not for the online
Okay.
online ears.
Not safe for work. NSFW.
So we got a new swing submission.
She throws it good.
She is pretty good, so let's see it. Let's see that again real quick. So, this guy. This is Nick Harris. This is my doubles partner.
Oh, sorry, I got confused.
Why are you confused? Because he's got the Brianna Clemmer arm out?
Yes.
Straight out of the
He throws it a lot better with Brianna's arm out.
Yes.
I mean, it's just that's what we call it, the Brianna arm.
Yes.
I will say his left foot is really nice with that calf tat. Coloring is good.
What about the what's going on with the right one? Why does he have a tiny little? Is that his Foo Fighters one on the right side?
Yeah, I think
the
he's
tiny
got,
little one.
Yeah, or that's his martini glass one.
those
or
are his
old-fashioned.
midlife crisis
Tattoos.
tattoos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Surprised he hasn't bought a car yet.
all of those tattoos all came within the last, I think, less than a year.
Can you actually rate this guy's swing, Kyle? Instead of talking about his tattoos.
Swing. I gotta say, I never noticed this before, but Nick, you really waddle to the line. Yeah, 1, 2. You don't have any crossover steps.
Neither do I. What's wrong with that?
Yes, you do.
Where's
No, I
the
don't.
knee bend?
Have you never seen me bowl?
I've seen you bowl.
I don't
no
crossover.
crossover steps. Your right foot starts in front of your left foot, which I always find interesting. And you're hanging your left arm out the whole way. This is very interesting. Brianna Clemmer. Nick Harris swing 6 out of 10. Calf 10 out of 10.
That's a little high on the calf.
I agree. You got a long way to go. But in all seriousness, really good behind the ball.
He has great
look at
elbow
the-
flexion.
Look at his elbow right
after,
here.
That's after the release, though.
No, I mean, have you ever seen him from the other side?
Oh, yeah.
He has very good elbow
Did you guys see
flexion.
this
unloading?
ballerina pose?
He's got great elbow flexion. He flexes it well. I should say bicep flexion because your elbow doesn't flex.
He would get torched, absolutely torched on Instagram.
Great picture, by the way, Nick.
For his arm, his swing back and forth after delivery.
Well,
that's a big deal on Instagrams.
Is it? I've never
People hate
noticed.
I'm gonna swing my arm really fast.
Oh,
tonight
look
when
in
I bowl people.
look in the comments. If you keep swinging your arm, you're getting judged.
That's what a lot of the ladies do on tour.
I do
up,
say
down, up, down, up, down, up,
Nick,
down.
Nick has a great swing there. He's got good flexion on the arm. He throws it really well. He gets the ball off his hand very well.
Very fast.
Yeah, very fast. I think that he struggles a little bit with his front arm. His front arm, typically, when he doesn't use the Buren arm, he gets a little bit erratic with it. It's kind of like a bird flapping in the wind, like this a little bit. If you calm that down a little bit, I think he'd be a little bit better off.
That's why he does the Buren arm. You know what I think I'm going to start doing?
I do like when his back trail leg is a little closer to his other knee because he did a little bit farther away. So he's really far out. He doesn't keep it up underneath him. So his hips and his top of his body tip up like forward over his chest. Or his chest is over his knees a little bit. If he kept it a little bit tighter to his other knee, his chest would be a little bit taller, a little bit straighter, might get a little bit more leverage on the ball.
George, the Brianna arm
It's
is
back
100%
forever.
going to Swiss Trios.
It's back forever. There is a performance enhancing test before you bowl on that day. So make sure you come and
There's a patrol.
peek up.
There will be a patrol unit out in the parking lot.
Peek up must
Listen.
be ready.
You got a team yet, Kyle?
100%.
Who you bowling with?
Me, Jakey, PSB, and Coach Newton.
Heck yeah.
Which, by the way, quick shout out. Coach Newton bowled her first club event and led the division and had the first our number one seed
The step
going to
ladder.
step ladder.
Yeah.
But ran into an absolute buzzsaw, Brett Groff.
Fantastic
who ran
bowling
the
by Brett.
ladder.
Yeah, Brett bowled fantastic. And also great bowling by Jake Schenk, who hasn't bowled since June 3rd, winning Division 1.
I've tried to get him a bowl.
Unbelievable.
I've tried to get him in the bowl so many times.
Well,
No, it doesn't matter. Hasn't lost his touch. just showed up and absolutely mashed him.
yeah, good for him.
Yep.
Yeah, but that was a good day. That was a good day.
100%.
So, Nick, if you have any other questions, just make sure to see me. I know you're in the bar, so you're waving at me through the glass. Can't miss you because I can't see past you in the glass either. Jesus,
Wow.
I mean,
Great Brianna swing, Nick.
Yep.
And keep up the calf tats. You're unreal. It's you're a great partner too. Great doubles partner.
Needs a couple more to catch up with my girlfriend's calves.
She has an entire blacked out sleeve.
Yes, she does.
Ridiculous. I couldn't even imagine sitting in the chair that long being attacked by a needle.
How do they do
I
that?
promise you that
do
was
they
not
just like
one
go like
sitting.
this?
It's a big. They're like that wide. They're filler needles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's
It's
faster,
like multi-needle.
but it
Just
probably
more
hurts
space.
more.
I'm sure at a certain point you're just so used to it, it just feels normal.
Yeah, well, I guess if normal is getting jabbed with
I
needles.
don't know because I've never gotten a tattoo. I've never thought of an image that I want on
Austin,
me.
let me tell you something. Why put a bumper sticker on a Ferrari? I don't get
That's
that.
right.
Look at you and I. Kyle, look at you. Jeez.
Kyle's probably got one hidden.
Not even.
He's
close.
got your
Nobody
name.
knows about.
He's got your
Not
name on
even
his
close.
Well, actually, the funny thing is,
your name.
Ryan out there does have my initials on his thigh.
He does. I saw that AVB. He did it
Was
himself.
that a bet?
No, that was just we were watching college football at his house after golf one night
And
on
he
a
decided
Saturday,
to give himself a prison
and he
tat.
just looks
Yep.
at me and he goes, "I'm gonna put your initials on my leg."
And
And
did
I
it.
said, "I don't know if that's a good idea." And next thing I know,
Bzzz. Wow,
I've seen
so
it.
that's
I am
commitment.
now on
You
Ryan's
owe
leg.
him something.
for
I don't know
his
what it
whole
is,
life.
but you owe him something.
I feel like he owes me something. I mean, that he's rocking my name.
Fair enough. It was his call. It wasn't. You didn't even.
Didn't lose a bet. Didn't do
Yeah,
anything
no.
crazy.
That's something. I don't even know what to say to
A
that.
couple of adult beverages probably helped the decision making, but you know,
All right. Well, guys, it is time for us to go bowling.
it's already 8:00. Holy
Almost.
That was a quick show.
Hopefully, you guys are all bowling in your scratch leagues as scratch bowlers.
And remember, it doesn't matter if you're a scratch bowler or not, because I still love you.
Yes. So bowl handicap, bowl scratch, bowl whatever you have to do to keep bowling, because that's all that matters, as long as you're not bowling on strings. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. Catch us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Ball reviews are up on the Downlane Bowling channel, and there's a couple more coming out soon. You
We're
guys
kidding.
need to do the road, the new
Recording.
road, right?
The Road Warrior, the S2, and the
recording
Origin.
Saturday night.
No.
Is that not when we're doing it?
No.
I think
we changed
I
the
think
date?
tomorrow night you guys are doing it.
It can't be Saturday with Rock and Bowl.
Oh, that's right. Rockin' Bowl.
I don't know
That
why-
would be an
I'll have to look
interesting ball
through-
review.
I'm fairly positive the last text I was sent in that group chat was Saturday at 9:30.
Yeah, and I texted Matt and said, "How can we do a ball review when it's Rockin' Bowl?"
Anyway, keep an eye out for those ones. In the meantime, it is time for us to go bowling. Thank you to Jack Scaccia, proprietor of Town & Country Lanes, for letting us do this every week. Austin, thanks for coming back and making sure that we have audio. Anthony, good show tonight. Thank you to my family, Stephanie, Zach, and Ethan.
Jam bread.
We will see you guys in 2 weeks because
What's next week?
have a happy, healthy,
Fat.
and a fattening, but an enjoyable Thanksgiving. Thank you guys for
Oh, yeah.
watching.
And don't forget to take your nap during the afternoon game, NFL game.
Who's playing?
Giants and
You don't wanna
Cowboys.
I
It's
never
a-
remember who's in the afternoon and who's
They
in the
might
night.
as well just call me up, play quarterback.
Hey,
Because I'll be
listen.
better than those
Listen,
guys.
we got Tommy DeVito and Cooper Rush playing. So
You know what I'm gonna have? I'm gonna have some
Do we have a-
pasta.
do we have a snore?
I'm gonna have pasta next Thursday.
All right. So happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Don't
we gotta run a
forget
tournament
to
next Thursday.
say thank you to your friends and your family. And Anthony's got his turkey shoot. So if you guys are in the Albany area and want to bowl in the turkey shoot, it's drop your low
who
game.
won it last
So
year?
was it you?
Austin Van Buren.
No, I didn't win the turkey shoot. I won the Christmas thing.
Yeah, Austin won Christmas. Austin won Swiss Trios. Austin won the Invitational. Austin won.
Oh yeah, you had a run last year. That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Austin made a living from bowling in our tournaments last year.
All right,
Paid-
guys.
paid for all three.
We
of the
will
leagues.
see you in 2 weeks. This is Down Lane Podcast.